What it do? It's your boy Blue, the one of a few. And yeah, y'all don't really know me. You don't really know me. This is my first video, but I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of context. So I'm an artist with a focal point in illustrative lettering and graphic design and product development. And speaking of illustrative lettering, I wanted to get straight into the nitty-gritty of this video. So I am currently working on a lettering project that has a multifunctional title called The Hidden Drip Village, right? This is an ode to the naming conventions of the hidden villages in the Naruto franchise. So the drip, those letters within that word will act as the canvas for a character's specific illustrations. So the conception of this project was designed for the intention of a series, meaning that the word drip in the title's Hidden Drip Village is going to be redesigned for each individual character in the Naruto franchise, creating a unique cluster of this title essentially. And you'll understand more of what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, as you see these videos, you know what I'm saying, and as you see the process and the phases and everything like that, it'll make more sense. There's reasons for this, the reasons why I'm doing it like this. One, because it's easier to be able to, you know what I'm saying, think up my concepts, stuff like that, when everything kind of falls within the same structure, you know what I'm saying? The type of person who's always wanted a collection of things. So it's like, I thought it would be really cool when we get into the product development side of things. It'll definitely come to life and make sense why we're doing it like this. So I also plan on doing multiple other anime franchises as well, you know what I'm saying? Not just Naruto. I'm starting off with Naruto, but we plan on doing Jujutsu Kaisen. We're gonna do some concepts for My Hero Academia, for One Punch Man, whatever animes I feel like doing these concepts for. My lettering won't just, you know, be for anime. I'll do it for all different types of things. This is gonna be a long project. You know, there's 3 phases. We're starting off with the initial phase, which is the sketch phase. This first project is gonna act as the foundation for all the other anime related lettering projects. So I really hope y'all enjoy this video. I really hope y'all stick around to the end, see everything that's going on, and yeah, man, let's get straight into it. Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, I'm just starting off with a rough sketch for the concept of the first letter. Boom. I'll go into more detail as the video goes on, but for now, I'm just focused on creating the shape of the first letter with the symbolism of the concept. So this is how I go about creating all of my illustrations. I always start off with a rough sketch. I would usually start off with a small thumbnail prior to even getting into this more detailed sketch. However, I just wanted to record just a detailed sketch because the thumbnails is not as you know, interesting, and doesn't have nearly as much to actually show in terms of content. But it doesn't matter what the concept is, it doesn't matter what the design is. I will always start off with a rough sketch traditionally prior to moving forward in any other medium. So for those of you who don't understand what it is that I'm drawing, I am currently working on a lettering project based off of Naruto Uzumaki from the popular shonen series Naruto. Yeah, don't mind my pronunciation. I know it probably isn't the correct way of saying Naruto or however you're supposed to actually say it, but you know, that's just something y'all have to deal with for a little bit. You know, I'm not the best speaker, but we're gonna figure it out, you know. At this point, I'm able to start refining the line work as well as adding minuscule details to the different aspects of this design. The first person able to tell me what scroll this is in the comment section below will get a shout out in the next video. So getting into the composition and details of this design a little bit, I really wanted the scroll to be the foundation for this letter, while also having not all of the 9 tails, but just a few of them protruding from out of the scroll with this stylized chocolate cloak wrapping around the tails. So I decided to zoom in a little bit just so you guys can see a little bit more of this detail that I'm putting into this chocolate cloak. Obviously, once we transfer this to the digital medium, it will not look like this. It'll be a lot more detailed, colored, etc. But I wanted you guys to kind of get an understanding of how I go about inputting these small details and how it helps me when it comes to visualizing the next steps. So what I decided to do for the tips of the tails was to get rid of the fur and replace it with the chocolate cloak altogether, and just have the underlying bone of the tails submerged in the chocolate cloak but still somewhat visible. The reason I decided to do this was because I wanted to reference the bone of Kurama that you see during the fight between Naruto and Pain. Now, with the core symbolism of this first design done, I'm utilizing some black fill-in for the background in order to give the piece a more cohesive structure, while at the same time referencing the Uzumaki clan symbol. now I'm working on the sketch for the next letter in this project. And as a recap, the focal word that I'm sketching out is drip. 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 These female depictions are vital to this design's concept, as well as the structure of this letter through their poses and positioning. Now, if you noticed that side note I sketched in, you may be wondering what I mean by noodlehead. This is actually me pre-planning a detail I'll soon be adding to this design in reference to Naruto's love for that bussin' Ichiraku ramen. At this point in the design, I've begun sharpening up some of the line work. As to express this concept, I wanted to reference Naruto's overpowered sexy jutsu through these female depictions covered by a stylized smoke as they carry the weight of a massive Odama Rasengan. Branching from the noodle head concept, I started to define breaks and sections of these figures, with these noodles drooping out like blood and loose tendons. This solidified the idea that instead of a skin texture, I'll attempt to create a stylized ceramic texture for these figures, combining sexy jutsu and Ichiraku ramen even further. Rasengan acts as a vital piece to the unity of these two figures, while strengthening the visibility of the desired letter.
Nearing the end of this design, just like the first letter, I input some black tribals in the background to emphasize this letter's structure. I think at this point, y'all know how we're gonna start this thing off. Once again, I wanted y'all to get a close-up on this texture work. In this design, I wanted to add 4 more of Kurama's tails, but this time replace the chocolate cloak concept with a blood drip effect, which will become more prominent in the digital render. If you couldn't tell already, this design's concept is centered around the relationship between Naruto and one of the most beloved characters of the entire series, Jiraiya. So for the composition behind this concept, I wanted the Ichi Ichi book as the foundation for the structure of this letter, while having a few more of Kurama's tails protrude from within the pages, positioned to help develop the shape with the popsicles that solidified their relationship. We've finally made it to the final letter in this initial sketch phase. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around, and I hope you like and subscribe, as I have much more in store for you. Now let's finish this thing. So for the composition of this last design, I utilized Kurama's last two tails to form the shape while having a charred leaf in the foreground for the shape's build-up. I also thought it would be cool to have the Hokage symbol burnt through the leaf while having those oodle noodles spewing out of all the gaps and wrapping around the tails. To complete this design, once again, I utilized some black tribals in the background to emphasize the shape of this letter.